Yo, what is good? What is good? What is good, beautiful people? Chris, you know who I be. Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV, back again, once again, trying to get back into the groove of things. Hope all is well, like I used to do before. Like we're gonna try to get back into magandang hapon, which means good morning, good evening, and of course, good afternoon, depending on what time you guys choose to watch this video today. Good to see y'all. Good to be back, man. Let's go ahead and knock this one out of the park. Instant classic in the making. First time to this channel, guys, make sure you get the like, subscribe, notify, do all the good things to make yourself well versed in the good dots content, all of my extracurricular activities, Patreons, ebooks, podcasts, whatever, listed in the link in the description area below. Now, I don't wish to mince words. I wish to rip this one off like a band-aid. Let's go ahead and get into it. This right here constitutes one of the absolute worst business ideas or ways to earn money ideas that a foreigner could actually choose to participate. All right. And we're going to get into it right now. Okay. So a lot of my guys who are looking to retire in the Philippines, a lot of my gentlemen who are looking to make their way abroad in any capacity, you guys are probably thinking of the amount of money you have in savings and the fact that, you know, if you got anything invested or types of investments, you can live off of those. But some of you guys are looking to just pick up and move. Basically, you have nothing that ties you down to the United States or your foreign country, and you're looking to just cut ties, move abroad, and try to find your life there. Now, in this thought process, a lot of you guys have considered doing some other type of work, whether it be freelancing, you know, doing some online freelancing work. It's not a bad idea. I just kind of find that, you know, it can be hard if the work itself is monotonous and the work itself is something that everybody can do. If you don't have any like specialized skills and all you're doing is help organizing somebody's email stuff, normally there's probably already somebody who's doing that, somebody who's already got recommendations that certain people are already utilizing. So for you to break into that market of doing online freelance work, you would definitely have to have a skill, a specialized skill. Maybe something in IT or something to that relation wherein, you know, you're part of a specialty. So your work is very limited and only very few people can do it. And you're one of very few people that can do it. So that could, excuse me, open up an opportunity for you in that particular area or genre. But as far as freelancing work in general, doing some typing work and stuff like that, anybody could do it. So likely there's probably somebody, or you're going to be in a competition or a very competitive market in reference to that. That is not necessarily the worst business idea. Let me get into it. A lot of you guys are probably thinking about online English. Not a bad idea, not a bad choice. It's enough to put a little change in your pocket. I mean, anybody and everybody can do it. There's always somebody looking for people to do online English. The only downside is, you know, you get to choose your own schedule. But again, is it enough to make a killing off of? No. Is it enough to make you comfortable? Maybe, depending. But if you're going to utilize that particular money to set the pace or to set the tone for your lifestyle in the Philippines, guys, I'm under the assumption, and a lot of guys can agree with this, that that may not be the best way to go about it. That may not be the best occupational opportunity for yourself if you're choosing to work while you're over in the Philippines or overseas for you to partake in. That's just something that may be good to help get you in, get you started, but yet and still may not be the best business idea. All right, now let's go ahead and top this one off with the coup de grace. All right, because I think this one right here is one idea that I hear a lot of guys talking about, a lot of foreigners thinking about making this particular investment. And quite frankly, I don't really want you to hone in, and I don't really want you to commit to that particular business idea. All right. And that particular business idea is purchasing a property, condo, house, or whatever, and opting to rent it out through Airbnb and things of that nature. Now, let me explain to you why I don't believe this is the best idea for you in the moment or at any particular time if you're choosing to find a way to earn income in the Philippines. All right. When I was in Manila one time with my father, we had this grand idea that he was going to sell his condo in Manila, the condo that you guys saw the video of. He was gonna sell it, and he was like, what I was gonna do is I'm gonna buy 2 smaller units, because for the price of the 1 unit that he had, he could at least get 2 good units, one for him to live in and one for him to rent out of. Now, in our search for looking for, you know, the best potential areas to buy these condos in, to buy the rental place and everything like that, we went around to a bunch of different condominium units. Now, during this particular walk, you have the option to do one thing, and I suggest you guys do this, but you can request the list of all of the empty units that are available for rent or for things of that nature, Airbnb or whatever. The front desk has this list. So in every condominium complex that we went into, there was at least 30 to 40 empty units that maybe businessmen or companies had bought up for the purpose of using them as rental properties. So imagine in every building, no less than 20 available units were already available for tenants to move into. Now, again, depending on what you're looking at, depending on what you're opting to make the renter pay and things of that nature, that does kind of sort of determine what kind of monthly rent you're going to charge them. And of course, dealing with condominiums, you got HOAs, homeowners insurance, and homeowners association fees, and things of that nature. And depending on how much you're going to contribute that towards the renter would determine what your price would be. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, if there's already 20 to 30 available empty units in these particular condominium complexes, what are the odds that somebody's going to actually choose my potential rental company? I mean, my potential unit to actually rent out. So I was debating about this, and I was looking at this also in Davao. I was looking at this in other areas that I considered, or my dad was looking at this in different areas where he was opting to potentially set up a condominium unit. Most so in Manila. I looked in Davao and a couple of other areas, even in Cebu, and we kept running into the exact same problem. The idea of buying a property, using it to rent out to earn additional income, and whatever the rental fee is, we're going to use that to pay off some stuff, keep a little bit of money to the side. The idea sounded grand in scale, and it sounded like a great idea, but you have to understand, guys, you're not the only one doing it. You're damn sure not the only foreigner doing this. You have foreigners that are operating at a higher scale than you're even imagining. You're thinking about 1 unit. We got, and I can say this out loud with no disrespect, but there were a lot of Indian-based companies, 5 units, maybe even 10 units that they bought for the option of renting out. So there are a lot of people with the same grand idea that are operating this at a larger scale. Now, I don't want this to deter you, but I've kind of figured out that the only way that you're going to be able to advertise, especially if this is an Airbnb type of setup, or if this is something you're thinking about doing in reference to finding renters, you're gonna have to advertise differently. I had the grand idea only after my YouTube video was over, and only after my time in the Philippines was over, my YouTube tenure was over, not my YouTube, but my Philippines tenure was over. We had a house in Davao, you guys know that, and when I showed you the house video, in the back of the house, there was a place that you could rent out, and we were thinking about $4K a month. It was just a sala, which is like a living space or a living room, 1 bathroom and a bedroom. It was just that. You could use the outside kitchen. It was golden. We were only thinking about this within my last 6 months of actually being in the country, less than a year. If it was more than 6 months, it was definitely less than a year. That was the time we were thinking about this idea of renting it out, and we were just going to rent it to maybe somebody local, a family or whatever it may be, that may be just looking for a place to stay, you know, so the price would be lower. And even then, let's be honest, even if you're going to opt to use this particular idea of buying a house or buying a condo, renting it out, you have to think about Philippine prices. You may have Filipino tenants. The odds of you being able to get a foreign tenant in there, slim to none, unless you have like a YouTube channel or a place where you can advertise. Okay, guys, if you ever find yourself in Davao City, yo, check out my spot. I got you taken care of. I'll pick you up from the airport. You know, you got to add a little bit more to the experience rather than just saying, yo, my property, you can stay in it, whatever. You know, you got to be able to let people know that there's a lot more that you're offering, which is going to separate you from the competition. All right. So with that particular aspect, that would have been the only way that we were going to do that. But in reference to the house that I had, that was my idea. Only after I started the YouTube channel, I was like, yo, I could tell all of my people if they ever want to come to Davao, I can make sure I have a place for them to stay. This nice little 1-bedroom sala set up in the back of my house, literally where I stay at, you know, where you can entertain and do whatever you need to do. You know, you're not necessarily under my protection, but you're in my space wherein I know that you're going to be provided with whatever you need, whatever accommodations, as long as it's paid for, you know, right then and there. And even then, the idea is still in the back of my head. Should I actually do something or set something up, and should I continue on with my YouTube situation? I could do that when I go back. But, you know, you just have to be able to advertise differently. A lot of people don't advertise like that. And to be able to set yourself apart from everybody else that's doing it, you got to find a way to make this work. A lot of y'all, most of y'all who watch the good Doc, Dr. Mike TV, you know this shit. You're like, yo, that's Doc and shit. I know Doc. I've seen him on TV. You've seen Dr. Mike TV on the YouTube, and you've seen who I am. And, you know, to meet me in person, if that actually means something to anybody, you know, it would be an all-encompassing experience, as opposed to, yo, keys to the condo. Maybe I'll have like a, how can I say this? Somebody set it up and take care of shit for me, and bam, that's you. Y'all got that. Or you can deal with me personally, you know? So it's the way that you set it up that's going to separate you from everybody else. Not everybody wants to have a YouTube channel. Not everybody wants to put themselves out there in the foreground. Not everybody out there is trustworthy. So, you know, there's always something that, you know, there's always a pro and con to everything. And with that situation, I can honestly tell you, one of the main cons is the fact that you're not the only one doing it. Got to be careful, guys. You are not the only ones doing this. All right. So in the back of your mind, if you're thinking about it, I don't necessarily want you to reconsider, but I want you to think long and hard about how you choose to approach this plan. Because again, in every situation, in every market, guys, understand you're never the one of one. Because a lot of us have the same idea. So if you're thinking about buying a property and renting it out, by all means, ladies and gentlemen, just mentally keep that one in the back of your mind, that, you know, I have to figure out a way to separate myself from the competition, or separate myself from the other people that are offering Airbnb services or long-term rental services. All right. That's been a good Doc, man, and I hope that you found some value in this. If you did, by all means, you guys, make sure you get the likes up. And that being said, good Doc is officially out. Whew, damn. Taking that time off and coming back, that shit hard. Alright, with that being said, good Doc is officially out. At least knuckle, which means I am going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Mahal kita. Bye-bye. Peace.